Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Lead Up Teach on YouTube Live with myself, Elizabeth Bostwick, and Laura Gilchrist, and our very special guest, Jonathan Kegler. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming on tonight. My name is Heidi Veal, and I'm an assistant principal at an early childhood campus in North Texas, and have recently been named Early Childhood Literacy and Programs Director, Administrator in a new district. I, along with Liz and Laura, co-founded Lead Up Teach, and I also co-founded and co-moderate ECE Chat every Tuesday night. I'm really passionate about leadership, innovation, and early childhood education. So before we go much further, Laura, will you introduce yourself?
Of course. Hello, everybody. I'm Laura Gilchrist. I'm coming at you from Kansas City, where I just wrapped up my 22nd year in education. For 20 years, I taught the most amazing kids, and I taught them science and social studies. Now I serve as an instructional coach to simply remarkable teachers at Turner High School. I'm passionate about designing schools and cities around kids, so that kids walk out of schools into their futures self-identifying as learners and leaders. Jonathan Kegler, we are super excited to have you on tonight. And everybody will want to know Jonathan's username on Twitter is at Jonathan Kegler, and that's all together, Kegler. On Instagram, he's at Coach Kegler. And good stuff on there, very motivational. And his website is at jonathankegler.com. Elizabeth, you are up. Please take a minute to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Bostwick, and I'm a fourth grade teacher at Gardner Road Elementary in Horseheads, New York. I'm in my 14th year of education, and I'm passionate about fostering a true love of learning within all students by immersing them in makerspace, project-based learning, and passion projects, and especially about helping them to learn how to ignite their shine. Jonathan, we're so ready to be inspired by you, so please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Kegler, and I'm an elementary principal in Tyler, Texas, East Texas to be exact. I'm super excited about being here tonight because I've been in education for 10 years. I've been a leader of a building for 6. And so the no box thinking principles, I'm ready to share with you all tonight.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jonathan, and welcome again. We also want to give a very special welcome to our Lead Up Teach audience who is watching here. And we invite everyone to use the hashtag LeadUpTeach and also Jonathan's hashtag NBTChat to share out the things that you're hearing tonight on this broadcast.
All right, well, let's get this party started. Jonathan, will you please share about the journey that led you to be the inspiring educator and transformational leader that you are today?
Well, I grew up as a child with my mom being a teacher. And so I was one helping, put up bulletin boards, take them down, grade papers, whatever I could do. I was basically a school rat, like some basketball coaches' kids are gym rats. So I was always there. And my dad actually was our little league coach. He never quite graduated to become a certified coach. So I said I would marry those two worlds and become a teacher/coach. So I did that for actually 2 to 3 years. In my 3rd year, something strange happened because I said, I had that same dream as every coach. I'll coach for 10 or 15 years, win a few championships, and then, go into the principalship as I get ready to retire. Well, that year I was an elementary coach, and my principal comes in and says, Coach Kegler, I need you to fill in the rest of the year as assistant principal for discipline only, no teachers, because she knew my coaching background, what I would do to the adults. And so we had 890 kids at a Title I school, 98% Title I. It was unacceptable for 3 years straight. The discipline ceased to exist from March to May. I totally turned it around. So she said, I need someone who has my back. Will you become my assistant principal? I'm 2 years into my master's, getting ready to graduate. So I say, hey, I'll try it. So she comes to me that summer and says, my back is hurting. Can you check it out, coach? I'm X's and O's. I'm not really one on physical therapy or knowing what's going on with the back. So I basically did a little assessment. I said, hey, I don't know. Go get it checked out. She goes to a model school conference in Florida, comes back and is unbearable pain. So I told her, hey, go back, get a full checkup. She comes back weeks later, diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So my first year as assistant principal actually became principal because she passed away in November. So I always say that she's my guardian angel in that she opened the door for me at a very young age. I was the youngest principal in the state of Texas, 26, 27 years old, coming of age. And so now I was thrust upon me to lead a school to bring it back. So my first initial meeting, I took my watch off at the faculty meeting and said, the time is always now. And the teachers looked at me like I was crazy because most of them had been teaching for as long as I've been living. So I said, okay, hang on. The way we're going to do this, we're never going to do things the way we've always done. That can't, these kids don't know how to learn. All of those isms, we threw them out of the window, and I put a box on the table and symbolically struck a match and threw it in and said, from here on out, we're going to burn the box. We're not going to think outside the box, because if it doesn't work, the world of conformity is going to force us back into this box. But we're going to burn it, and we're going to find a way for these students to learn. And so the empowerment of students began to happen at that time, and it totally transformed that campus.
Wow, that is quite the story. And I love the statement of, we're going to burn the box.
Yes.
Did you say you burned the box?
Yes, actually, I struck a match and I threw it in. I had my watch in there, so I actually didn't have to necessarily burn it. But they got the gist because it was a brand new watch for me. But they knew that, hey, this guy is no nonsense. He's not playing any games. And so we had a PSP, which is a personal service provider, basically through the state of Texas for unacceptable schools. He came in and he met with me. He said, sir, for your population, your clientele, you're doing about as best you can. I said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude or, overstep my bounds, but we won't see you next year. We're going to come out of unacceptable. And he kind of laughed and chuckled. He had to come back in May or June of that year with our results and say, well, you told me. So it was the belief that I had, and I caught on fire. And so everybody else, kind of Todd Whitaker says it best. If the leader catches a cold, everybody on the campus gets sick. Well, our leader caught on fire, so everybody else caught on fire for learning. And it was over with from there. I mean, the total campus, the environment changed. The culture was set.
Oh, that is incredible.
Inspiring.
Absolutely. So, Jonathan, you are incredibly passionate about winning the day. Share with us about what win the day means to you and why this is such a powerful mantra.
Win the day comes from my coaching background. And I like to bridge those two worlds, basically marry them together. Because I believe that if I can coach you to do something, you can become better and do it on your own. So when the day starts with Monday, the first day of school, August 28th coming up this year, we're going to win that day. And we're not worried about any other day. And so once I started that mantra, we said, okay, let's win Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now we won the what?
The week.
The week. After we win week 1, 2, 3, and 4, we've now won the month.
The month.
After we win month 1 through 10, now we won the year. But it all started with that singular focus of winning the day. Now, I have to take it and scale it back just a little bit because I actually use that for a universal refocus signal for my entire campus. Whenever someone is leading the charge and talking, they immediately say win, and everybody else stops. They correspond back the day. Wow. So now that becomes a reinforcement of, okay, I need to focus on winning the day. I actually had a bilingual campus at the time, and so I said, aprovecha. All of them called back El Dia. I was fortunate and blessed to go to a regional school of the deaf. And so then I used the win, which is the W with your hands. They closed it back and said the day. So now we were trilingual campus on winning the day. So everybody, no matter what language they spoke, no matter what they heard or didn't hear, now we're all on the same page of winning the day. And I tell kids, if you lose
like in
the
a
day,
gym? Like with all the kids.
Everybody can be talking in the cafeteria. I'll give you the cafeteria, which is wild and crazy. I walk in the cafeteria and I say win. Everybody calls back the day, and this is quiet. You can hear a pin drop. And the parents' mouths just drop wide open, like, how did he do that? Like, is that magic? So they start doing it at home, like, okay, let me do it there. But I tell the kids, you can mess up in the morning at 8 o'clock, 8:30, and have a bad start to the day. That doesn't necessarily mean that your day is over and you lost the day. I always coach them on how can you come back and what can you do to win the day still? We still have 6 hours left. Go find something and a way to come back from it. And when the kids' mindset changes like that, I think the whole thing changes. Now, with Heidi being that pre-K3 coach now, I'm going to tell you, when you start using win the day, you have little pre-K kids when the teacher's doing that read aloud and they say win the fox. And then before they can get out anything else, the kids are calling back the day, and it's WHEN versus WIN.
You're the man, Jonathan. That's awesome.
That is.
Wow, that's really powerful. So that, I mean, that's just so, and it refocuses the mindset. It gets everybody about winning, and it's okay if you've had a bad start. And it's also a way to get everybody's attention together. That is awesome.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So Jonathan, you wrote the box. You didn't just burn the box. I'm sorry, but you wrote the book, No Box Thinking. And you speak on this topic often. Give us your no box thinking elevator speech.
Well, I think it's when you're tired of things going the way they've always gone. It can be in life, it can be personal or professional. And that's what I tell people all the time. If you're tired of doing things the way you've always done them, getting the same results you've always gotten, that's called insanity, people. You know, we keep butting our head against the wall. So stop doing it. Stop saying, I'm going to think outside the box, because when you're not successful, the world is going to the pressure is going to force you to go back in. So burn the box. Don't worry about which direction you're going. Just keep moving forward. Keep chipping away at it. And I promise you, if you put together enough wins, the people that once thought you were crazy will now become on board with you and say, hey, they're up to something. But you have to have that blind faith to continue to step out and say, no matter what, I know I'm doing the right thing. I'm going in the right direction. The box is burned. I'm not going backwards. I'm moving forwards, and I'm going to find a way to make it work, because the word fail stands for first attempt in learning. So if you don't fail, how are you ever going to learn? Right. So I always tell people, hey, let's burn this box in life in general. You know, maybe it's those pounds you want to lose right after Christmas or Thanksgiving. Maybe it's that New Year's resolution when you're starting the year. Maybe it's that summertime read that you want to read while you're find a way to do it.
Yeah. And making a plan.
I love it. And once you get momentum, like you said, you just keep going, and then you start building momentum, and then people, you know, oh, they're going somewhere, and then they want to jump on, and then you're headed for great things. Love that too. Yes. What are your personal routines, consistent practices and rituals that fuel your success? And also, what are you reading right now?
I would say it's always having those positive affirmations on my bathroom mirror when I wake up in the morning, having a word or two just to refocus me. When I have my bands on, like the kids are wearing the rubber bands now, like the Remind bands, but I have no box thinking bands. I have Win the Day bands. I have one band that's blue and white that it sticks out to me, and always is something that I love. But it says, don't look for the one, be the one. And so I'm always having those messages coming back to me that are positive. In the world today, you turn on the radio, you turn on the TV, and, you know, you never know what you're going to hear now. There's so much negativity coming at us. So having that positive nature around you, I think changes the whole game. One other piece that I constantly use is I play chess. I don't play checkers. A child can beat you at checkers, a 2-year-old, because you're just jumping the person. But when I play chess, I'm strategic, and I'm thinking moves and moves and moves ahead. When I'm thinking moves and moves ahead of my opponent, I tend to be more successful, and my mentality totally changes. So now when people bring me problems from the world, I'm constantly thinking of solutions to come back to them. I think that totally transforms the game. And what am I reading now? I'm actually doing a reread. I think sometimes we read books, we put them on the shelves, they collect dust, and we never touch them again. Well, I did a 10-day empowerment to finish the school year off at my campus. We just finished testing, and most of the time after that, everybody's checked out for summer, right? So Mr. No Box Thinking says, I'm going to flip it and do a little bit different. So I've sent out 10 messages from Eric Thomas. He's a guru of motivation. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe kind of guy. So I send out 10 messages to my campus, and I tell my teachers, every morning to start the day at 7:30, you're going to play a 5 to 10 minute clip. After that, you're going to then empower the students to do some type of mapping. It could be a thinking map. It could be a mind map. You name it. Let the kids be creative. And then after that, I want you to discuss what they came up with. Well, guess what? My attendance rate has gone through the roof. Like, we've been at almost 100% for the last 10 days, because the kids that were once despondent are now coming to school. They want to be there. And so once we did that empowerment mapping, the thing behind that was, okay, I have the Secret to Success book. So after they finished the 10 days yesterday, I took the book in and said, now do a book study. So now my campus is actually doing a book study going into the last few days of the school year. The kids were fighting to take the book home with them today. Now, these are some kids that maybe be fighting to read normally, but now they're reading for the enjoyment. They're actually articulating what they're reading. They're comprehending it because it's something that they're interested in. So I had to go back and reread it. So now I can have these talking points with the kid. Chapter 1 in The Secret to Success is about the boiling point. When you get to a level of boiling over and not, having control of your emotions, what do you do? And now some of my behavior kids are saying, hey, when I got to that point and I exploded at the beginning of the year, I wish I would have had this to know what to do now. So my first 10 days of next school year actually just completed now, because we're going to do the same thing to introduce the rules and procedures of 17-18.
Ooh, that's awesome. That is no box right there. I know. And I can just see the flames coming out of your head. Like,
Yes.
And there's so much behind when we empower staff and students, we truly become limitless in the culture that we've created and that empowerment that we can give students to drive their learning.
Yes. And the same teachers that were once burned out, guess what? They're now coming to me because I actually brought the teachers in and I did some empowerment mapping for next school year. I said, hey, here's the curriculum. Here are some of our low teaks, our low performing areas. What can we do to address them? They've already written some of our curriculum that we're going to do next year to start. And they're like, hey, I'm ready to start the year right now. So when you change that mindset and you begin to empower, it all started out with the kids being empowered, right? Mm-hmm. That's the chess mentality. It wasn't about the teachers at this point. It's about the kids. So once the kids caught on fire, now what does that teacher have to do? Even if I'm ready to check out and I'm on this vacation in Cabo, Mexico, I still have to focus because now the kids are pushing me saying, hey, I'm ready to do this. I want to know more. Teach me more. Find me more videos. Like one kid said they went home and all weekend, all they did was YouTube ET videos. I was like, yes, it's set now. Game, set, match. Checkmate, yes. I got you.
Well, when teachers see kids, that is why we teach, to see kids excited about learning. And especially for teachers that maybe haven't had that for a while and they see that, that's a spark. I have a quick question. So how do you get these phrases into the kids' minds? You've got the bands, you've got talking. Do you have anything up on the walls of your school?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. We have posters up on the wall. I actually have t-shirts that I wear that says that, the t-shirt and jeans, a lot of times they say professionals, we want to have on a suit and tie. But when I come in with the message with the words on it, the kids go crazy. They didn't know I had a website because I don't really promote that there per se. They didn't know I had written a book, but when they saw me with my t-shirt on, they're like, where do I get those? So I told them, I had kids going to the website trying to buy t-shirts because they wanted them. But guess what? To take it a step further, because I didn't want to make money off of the kids, because I'm not about that kind of change. I'm not about to change the foes. I'm about to change that minds grow. And so what I did was on our school t-shirts, I began to put the messages. So on our school t-shirt, it's like the highlighter yellow for the crossing guards. It's that color. It's like neon, like popping. So on the front, we have no excuses because we're no excuse campus. Shout out to Damon Lopez and No Excuse University.
Nice.
So we're no excuse campus. On the back of it, it has celebrate to elevate. It has win the day. Like we have 4 or 5 different shirts. So when they're taking their STAR test and they look up and they see the back of another kid's shirt, it reiterates the message to them like I got to keep going. On their pencils, I put win the day on the pencils. So now when they're taking the test and they look down at the pencil, even if the test is getting hard, they're like, no, I got to keep going. I have to win the day.
And I have to tell you, Jonathan, I met you in person in January and you were so on fire that day and you really encouraged me so much. I really latched on to your statement, stop looking for the one and be the one. And that for me, this year, for really this first half of the year, has become a mantra for me. I've got my calendar right here, and it's literally right here on my affirmations and my mantra that I've got right there. I'm like, yes, because that's what we've been made to do, is to be the one that has no excuses. I love that one too. Celebrate to elevate. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jonathan, share with us the greatest highlights and impacts from your career. And what is your deepest hope regarding education?
It's all tied into one, actually. I can give you one example. It's in my book. It happened at the very first school. Okay, so I have that message where I tell everybody, I take the watch off. We have that, that moment where we're in the faculty meeting and I tell them we're burning the box. Well, after then, we began to have a Fired Up Friday. And I had a Fired Up Friday. And what Fired Up Friday is, it's an edu pep rally. I mean, I bring them in, I take all of my kids in the cafeteria and I talk to them, I pour in. I give all of my teachers a break the first 30 minutes of the day, like take a break. When they come back in, we go into ultra small groups. It's intervention on steroids. And so I had a despondent kid or two that just really weren't trying to, they weren't trying to get on board with education. Well, I would give them basically almost a mini sermon in the cafeteria. Like, I'm really pouring into them, telling them, hey, you can do anything that you put your mind to. You can do all things. Like, nothing can stop you but yourself. And so one day we had a message that, I was on fire myself when I finished the message. Like, I don't know where it came from. And so I'm in my office afterwards, just kind of detoxing from the message. And one of the teachers brought in a kid, and she had the roughest group ever. But she brought in a kid to my office, and the words that he said were like, they like melt my heart right now when I think about it, because it's my why. It's why I get up every day. But he came in and said, Principal Kegler, I want to tell you, I led the group today. And I'm like, what do you mean you led the group today? He said, I took over the whole group. The teacher didn't have to teach at all today. I taught. He said, because ever since you started Fired Up Friday 2 or 3 weeks ago, it's like my brain is on fire on Fridays. When I go in, I want to learn. I want to do the best. I want to be the best I can. I want to be a leader. And that to me was the shining moment, defining moment for me, because I started Fired Up Friday because they gave spelling tests on Fridays when I first got there.
Right.
That was a day for the teacher to take a break and have a 3-day weekend. You just mentioned earlier, your snow days took away your tomorrow being off. And so that parent was a little excited. Hey, I get to send my kid to school. But the teachers most of the time check out on Fridays. And so I had to be creative in a no box thinking kind of way and say, how can I spend this? So we had intervention all day Friday. We didn't have tests. Like, I don't want to test the kids to death. I want to teach the kids. And so when we had Fired Up Friday and that kid came back to me and told me, I'm on fire for learning, I want to do it. And from that point forward, we had no more discipline issues out of him. He became from an ABC student to a straight A student. Like, it was a defining moment for me that I'll never forget. And it kept me going in that, hey, what you're doing is working. Keep doing it. The kids are loving it. And so that was my defining moment, Liz, when that kid came and told me, hey, my brain is on fire for learning. I knew no box thinking was here to stay.
Wow. Oh, wow. And you're teaching too. That's part of all this. And I notice you're getting the kids to believe in themselves, that they can be anything they want to be. And that is just so powerful.
Absolutely. So Jonathan, what if you could share one thing that you'd like for the teachers to walk away with, to go out and do, to make a difference, what would it be?
It would be that same message that stuck with you. Don't look for the one any longer. Like, you've done that long enough. You went to school, you looked for the professor to teach you. Now you came and you're looking for professional development to stretch you and teach you. You're looking for your principal to do it for you. You're looking for your instructional coach to do it for you in Kansas City. You're looking for your lead teacher in New York to do it for you. You're looking for your pre-K3 coordinator to do it all for you in Lewis. Like, you have to step up and you have to be the one. Mm-hmm. And when you step up and you become the one, everybody around you then becomes inspired because they see your passion shining through. Yes, education, you're not going to be in it for the money, because the money is not what brings us there every day. But I want you to go back and remember your why. You wanted to become the one when you were playing teacher with your little dolls when you were growing up, with your brothers and sisters when you were teaching them. You wanted to be a teacher then for a reason. Go back to that moment. Don't lose that fire, that passion. Don't look for the one any longer. You become the one. Every day you wake up, you look in that mirror and you say, man, I'm good. I'm the best educator on this planet. Nobody can out-teach me. Nobody can outreach me, because I'm going to reach and teach every student that comes in my grasp. If it's the toughest student, if it's the smartest student, it does not matter. I am the one. I am the one that can do it. I will do it. And nothing can stop me from doing it. So from me to you, don't look for the one, be the one.
Woo! Yep, my brain's on fire now. Is this Friday? Is this Friday? Because I'm fired up.
This is our Fired Up Friday, that's for sure.
I know, and I am pumped up to go to work tomorrow and be with my students. So
yes.
Well, and I tell you what, you can never have enough motivation. Yes. And it's the statement from Zig Ziglar. He talked about, of course you need to be motivated every day. You need to shower every day, right? Exactly. Don't get disconnected from that. So yes. You have fired us up for sure.
Yeah. As we wrap
so much.
As we wrap up, would you please share with everybody what's coming up for you in the near future and how our listeners can connect with you?
Well, actually, I'm working on building a circuit of going out and consulting. I've started to do it a little bit. That's where I actually met with Heidi. She mentioned it. I did a training in Region 10 in Texas. And so I'm working on building and going out and doing a lot more consulting and helping people, coaching the coaches that are in the schools. So that's definitely coming up for me very soon. I haven't released a lot of it yet because I'm building it. And so it's coming. So be looking for that. And the next thing that I'm doing is I'm just stepping up every day and I'm perfecting me. I'm perfecting me every day. So when the opportunity comes for me to get in front of others, and it's a mantra of Eric Thomas, and I talk a lot of what he talks all the time. He has a new conference called the Stay Ready Conference, and it's all about staying ready so you don't have to get ready. So I'm preparing myself for when that opportunity comes, when that door comes to me. I'm not waiting on somebody to open it for me. I'm going to drop kick it when they put my foot in front of it. So that's the next thing for me, being ready to go out and help others. And when that opportunity comes, definitely taking advantage of it.
That's amazing. Love that. So Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us on Lead Up Teach tonight. And your message is not only powerful, but it's also inspiring, and your passion is incredibly contagious. I know our audience has loved hearing about your personal journey and all that you're doing to ignite no-box thinking with your win-the-day mindset. I think everyone is ready to go out and burn that box. So thank you to our amazing audience also who tuned in tonight for Lead Up Teach.
We will be sharing the link to tonight's broadcast, so be looking for that on Twitter. And continue to use the hashtag LeadUpTeach and tag NBT for No Box Thinking Chat.
Yes. Between now and our next episode, we encourage you to connect with one another and tweet using the LeadUpTeach hashtag on Twitter. Thanks again. It was so great having you. I cannot wait to read your book. And for now, we're signing off. Good night. Lead on and lead up. Bye.